great. Moving fast at first, obviously, drinking from the fire hose. That's just the first few weeks, but every coach, every staff member was great, just helping me get acclimated with the transition from the head man to the support staff. I'm just super grateful for everyone pointing me in the direction. Once I had a chance to kind of breathe and see how things were ran here at USC, it was much easier to just get caught up in the flow and just take my next step forward.
Now that you've had 15 practices to kind of assess your groups, what have you got on the personality you inherited and what you're working with?
Yeah, with the inside guys, I mean, we did have the injury bug with a few guys, but they're good now, and so didn't get a fair assessment on all bodies, but I know we definitely have what it takes to be a good team with that group. I'm excited to see what Makai Lemon can do for us. I know he's a great player. He had a great year last year, but we're looking to be better, and I just had my exit meeting with him, and he's hungrier than it's ever been in the past, and we're excited to set some goals and go accomplish them. And then with the tight ends, I mean, we got some different body types, you got different skill sets, and so it's my job to just keep fine-tuning them. But I believe the guys that got the most reps definitely took the right step forward. And we look back with all 15 practices, you could say they definitely did get better.
Any kind of surprises from camp, just with your guys or anything that happened?
Not necessarily. No surprises. It was just good to be out there and get that in-person evaluation with my guys and see what we need to address in terms of what we need to coach this summer and this fall camp. Walker Lyons, I thought he had a great spring camp. He got better in the run game, and his contested catch rate was really impressive when the ball was coming his way.
From what you saw, the off-season workouts to spring, anything as far as assessment goes, I mean, it's easier to make an assessment when they have pads on everything, but anything kind of stands out to you from going from the winter workouts to the spring?
I mean, just some areas of emphasis that I'm always going to be preaching with my guys are perimeter blocking. At the end of the day, perimeter blocking is attitude and effort, so you could push as much weight as possible. You could be a 250-pound guy, you could be 150 pounds. All it is attitude and effort, and so if you're a willing blocker, we're going to be able to execute. And so it's really just kind of shaping the philosophy, shaping the mindset in the rooms, and understand how we're going to operate every single day.
Walker Matthews is someone who looks the part physically. Can you tell us what you've learned about him this spring and what you've seen, obviously?
Yeah, he's got a unique skill set. I mean, you look at his size, he's 6'6", 280 pounds. And so a guy with that size, but also with his ball skills and fluid movements, it makes my job exciting because you want to be able to coach and work with something like that. And so he's definitely got the skill set. I'm excited to work with him. There's an area of emphasis that we got to be better at, and he knows where we got to be better at, so we're definitely on the same page with that.
I feel like when people see his body, they say future left tackle. Just how do you kind of balance, like, hey, let's focus on tight ends?
I mean, I think people are always going to say that. I mean, based off his size, future left tackle, but he's a tight end for us, and I'm the tight end inside receivers coach, and so I'm going to coach him to be a best tight end. And he's got a very unique skill set, like I said. I mean, not many guys can run as fluid like he can. It's just getting him to understand. In our offense, you got to be a tight end that's good in space. And so can you sink your hips? Can you start and stop? Can you cover somebody up in the run game in space? And then just fine-tuning his footwork and hand placement at the point of attack when he's an end-line tight end. If we do all that, we'll be in a good spot.
Working with Dennis Simmons, like, how has that been, the relationship? Yeah.
It's been great. Right now, I'm in charge of all wide receiver Indy, and so him and I work hand-in-hand today, not today at practice, but at all practices. If you guys saw practice, I'm the one kind of conducting the drills, but him and I speak the same language in terms of technique, what we're emphasizing that day, and so him and I speak the same language. We see eye to eye on everything, and it's just been great working with Coach Simmons. He's been a huge asset to this transition, and I'm just excited to keep moving forward with him.
What have you seen from DJ Jordan through these 15 practices?
So DJ Jordan, he's technically on the outside room, so he's not in my position meeting room. So that'd be a question for Coach Simmons.
For spring recruiting, it's been pretty much a whirlwind. You weren't here before, but it's been a little different feel for it. What's it been like for you, kind of stepping into this, known as a good recruiter, and then seeing how USC's been able to recruit well this 2026 class?
Yeah, there's no surprise really. I mean, you look at SC, this is the standard. I mean, this is what it should be, and this is what we're going to do going forward. I mean, we're not going to settle for anything less. We know what it takes to be a good program. Coaches know what it takes to be a good program, and so we're going to go get the best players. We're going to focus on California recruitment, but I think the momentum is real, and so we're just going to continue to get the best players out there. But we're excited to go on the road. We start going on the road tomorrow, and we're going to be in homes visiting with families. We're going to be at schools, and we're excited to just keep building these relationships and preaching to them that, hey, this is the place to be, and you don't want to drag your feet much longer, because if you do, you might miss out on an opportunity.
You had a lot of unofficial visitors come through. I mean,
We have.
recruiting in Colorado, like, it's harder to get that. They're
No
all
doubt.
local guys. Like, what was that experience been like, where you can get guys just to drive over?
Just the access, number one. At Colorado State, it's obviously different because guys got to either pay for a plane ride to get out there. We did focus on some of the California recruitment there, but being here at SC, guys can drive 30 minutes, drive 2 hours, and they can be here on campus. And so just the access to come to practice, to come to meetings, and just to come see the facility. You've got kids almost 6-7 days a week when the NCAA allows them to be on campus.
When you recruit the position of slot receiver versus tight end, is there any kind of overlap in how that, or what you look for, or how you do that?
I got different parameters. I think the one overlap would just be mindset. Just someone that loves the game of football and competitive spirit. You want someone who wants to be a good player, to be the best version of themselves. But in terms of physical attributes, there's going to be different lists of parameters I'm looking for in terms of that.
Obviously, USC is a big recruiting brand, and I know locally it's been kind of up and down the past couple of years. Have you noticed a shift in maybe perception this cycle with local kids?
No doubt. Obviously, I can't speak on what's happened here in the past, but it just sounds like there's a different excitement going around here with the local kids. I think there's a lot more local foot traffic in the building, whether it was high school coaches or local players coming around. So it was definitely good to see. But again, this is just the beginning, and we're excited to keep going.
You got a deep tight end room, maybe not been utilized as much as some, especially fans, would like to see in the past. Like, how do you kind of keep everybody happy, knowing that there's a lot of talented players in there?
Guys got to understand, number one, they got to compete, right? There's no free handouts, and they got to earn their stripes every single day, because that's how it's going to be at the NFL. You got to earn your stripes every single day, and you got to prove your value. And so whatever your value is, you got to show that every single day. You got to be consistent with your approach. But I ask the guys, what is your value? I've got to be able to see that as your position coach. And so when I'm evaluating all those things to keep guys happy, at the end of the day, they show us who they are as players. If you're lazy in the meeting room, if you're going to be lazy in our individual drills, you're showing me you're a lazy player. But if you're detailed in the meeting room, if you're detail-oriented in practice, if you're asking questions on how to get better, you're showing me you're a player that wants to be better, right? And so guys, just based off how they go about their daily life, they show us on who they are. I'm excited to coach all 6 tight ends that we have, and there's unique skill sets from size, from speed, from ball skills, from physical ability in the run game. And so it's just my job to really identify their weaknesses and just keep building on their strengths.
How do you balance wanting to get better in the room versus letting like a young guy go on? How do you balance that? Talking about a portal and like bringing in a vet versus letting a young guy go?
I think you just got to draw the fine line of how far off are they in terms of development. Nowadays in college football, the clock isn't as long as it used to be, right? If a guy can't show you that he can play at this level really within a year or year and a half after that spring, maybe it's time to move on or go get somebody else. But I'm always going to give somebody a chance, and it's my job as a coach to help them develop those talents, right? You can't just write somebody off by not putting in the work to coach them. That's why I'm here. It's my job to help develop these guys. And so for me to just write somebody off after one spring, that's not fair. That just shows that I'm not worthy of being a coach here.
What have you seen from Joey Olsen?
Joey Olsen, great kid. I compliment him on his attitude every single day. He's one of the most positive human beings I've ever been around. He's always got a smile on his face. All of his teammates respect him. He's got the ball skills, obviously being a high school receiver. So now just taking that next step in the run game, perimeter blocking game, and I think that'll come with his strengths that he makes over the spring and summer in the weight room too. But super excited to coach Joey. He's a very smart player, and his attitude and just how he approaches every single day are amazing.
what's the adjustment period been like for you in terms of learning the offense, and obviously from two different positions? What's that been like learning Lincoln's system?
I mean, and this is no joke. Lincoln is one of the best offensive minds I've ever been around. I haven't had the resume of being in a lot of schools like other people, but just his knowledge, how he conducts an offense, is second to none. He's calm, cool, collected. He's very detailed, but just how he attacks defenses, how he understands space from splits to the route alignment. He's one of the best in the business, and so I'm just so excited to work under him and to help him be the best head coach he can be, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Lincoln Riley. And you look at this offense, the first thing that was, because there's always crossover terminology. We were an air raid staple at Colorado State too, so there were some crossover in terms, and so it's just me erasing those old terms from my word bank and my memory and to adapt to how we call things here at USC. But super excited to work under Coach Riley to help him take this program to the next step, and I know we're capable of doing so. But he's one of the best offensive minds, and that's what recruits have to understand too. You play for Lincoln Riley, he's going to help you achieve all you want from an offensive player. And numbers don't lie. You look at the top offense he's had, and just Heisman Trophy winners. Some coaches work 50 years for having that. He's done it in the last 9-10 years.
You came in and they revamped the personnel staff. You're known as a recruiting, guru out there. How's that helped you and the rest of the staff recruit with all the extra support that's been?
It's been awesome. Chad Bowden, just his energy, his vision, and how aggressive he is, I see eye to eye with everything. I'm a very competitive, aggressive person myself, and so when Chad got in the building, I loved it. I love working with Chad every single day. Him and I are texting almost every second of the day, calling each other at night about recruits, about what we see in a player, maybe some red flags about a player, but we're constantly talking about talent, so I love it. But I just love his vision, his energy, and what he envisions for this program, because he's one of the best. You saw what he did at Notre Dame, the success they had there in such a short time. And so for him to be here under the same roof as us, I'm super excited.
You're not really cousins, right? I'm sorry.
No, we're not cousins.
Gavin joked that you were cousins.
Yeah, Gavin's joking about that. We're not cousins, but people will say like the Chads. It's funny because like some will say Chad in the hallway and we'll both look.
Yeah.
And I think last Monday we were wearing like the exact same outfit. It was pretty funny. Yeah, but super excited to be under his leadership. He's one of the best, and I think you feel his presence every single day because people understand how he operates and what he wants for this program. And so we're just going to keep taking that next step forward.
Do you find yourself learning a lot, kind of first year here?
Yeah. Every single day. Yeah. I view myself as a learner, right? Whether it's something in the recruiting evaluation side, whether it's something from an offensive standpoint, special teams, how to run a program. I want to be a head coach one day, and so I'm always trying to figure out how I can be a better version of myself, but I'm always looking to learn.
What was your assessment of special teams? I know you were working. We get to watch parts of practice. You're doing some of the kick return or punt return
Yep,
stuff.
I'm coaching the punt returners.
Yeah. So what's kind of that been like for you?
So we didn't have a ton of live punt returns in spring practice. Coach Doherty can obviously touch on that more, but just the pre-practice ball drills that we were doing with those guys. Obviously, we got some elite returners. Kai Lemon being one of them. He was down for a few practices, but just the few practices he was out there, you can see the glimpses of what he's capable of doing in the return game. So we decided to coach him up and watch him make plays on Saturdays because he's got what it takes to be an elite returner at this level.
When you looked at special teams, any film from last year, or with the punt return specifically, is there anything you looked at and said, hey, here's things we can definitely do better, or
I think
schematically or anything? Yeah.
The biggest thing with the punt returner is just level of trust, right? It's our job as punt returners to get the ball to the offense, right? Some guys are going to try to do too much. They're going to catch the ball outside the frame. They're not going to be square getting to the ball. And if there's someone we can't trust with their decision making, they're probably not going to be back there. So it's really just building that level of trust with the returners that we want out there so we can help the offense and get them in the right field position to be successful. But if someone's going to be lackadaisical with the ball or their judgment, it's probably not a guy for us, right? And so just constantly evaluating that.
Is there like a scale where you're like, this dude's really electric, but there's questions about ball
without
security
doubt.
and things, or
I mean, there's some
he's
players,
super solid and we just want to do it?
Yeah, I think every team's going to be in that boat where you're going to have an electric player, but you can't trust him because of his decision making. And so you got to figure out what outweighs the other. Is it the talent and how much juice he's got, or is it the level of trust? And so it's our job as coaches to draw that fine line on, okay, he's a great returner, but can we trust him when there's 100,000 people in the stands and you're on national TV to make the right decision to put us in a position of success?
Is there something you look at if you just walked into a roster, didn't know anyone, and like how you would identify, I think these guys could be good return men, or punt returners?
Yeah, I think just ball skills, ability to put their foot in the ground, and start and stop ability, one cut ability, all that factors into returning.
Is there any former players or that you like, hey, this is what the ideal punt returner kind of looks like, that you would point to, like, here's the standard you'd like to get to?
I mean, I went to school with a guy named Jamal Agnew, and he's been an all-pro punt returner. So I'll pick his brain on a few things, but he's definitely had success at the NFL level. And so for him to be all-pro and make a living off punt returning, it shows you that he knows what he's talking about.
What do
Go ahead, sorry.
you see Mekhi Lemon kind of growing his game? Like, what does he need to work on to kind of grow his game to the next level?
Him and I just talked, right? I mean, obviously this offseason focusing on what he can control. What can he control right now? It's diet, it's getting healthy, and so that's, with football practices coming to an end, that's something he's going to focus on. And then when we get to the field, I told him my evaluation is a little different because he didn't have all 15 practices, but just going through some of the cut-ups with him, we'll have a plan with just being as efficient as we can with route running, understanding route integrity, where we got to be when the quarterback's foot's in the ground and during his progression, perimeter blocking, understand where the run's designed to go, how guys are going to react. And so just being on the same page, understanding my vision, how I'm going to operate the meeting room, and him really just seeing eye to eye with me. But super excited to coach him. He's been great. He's great in the meeting room. He kind of sets the tone for how we operate in the inside receiver room. And I just told him, hey man, like, this offense goes as you go. And so you got to be consistent with your approach every single day. And if you do that, good things are going to happen for this program.
Everything going good in Southern California so far?
Yeah, loving it. It's just a blessing to be here. It's really a dream come true. Like, sometimes I'll pinch myself while I'm really coaching here at USC. So it's definitely a dream, but it's the people that make this place go. From the head man to Jen Cohen in administration, from Jay Hildebrand, from all the offense coaches, defense, support staff. I'm excited to come to work every single day. I enjoy it. I'm just so excited for what's to come in the future.